Hey everyone, so it's only me. I'm going to try and drop you, I was going to do a long video, but I'm going to drop you a quick one because it's not, YouTube isn't loading it. So this is my third attempt. I'm trying to reach out to you guys in one night. So I know it's been a long awaited video, but I guess some of you guys are probably waiting to hear back how we did on our frozen transfer back in January this year. So now we are Friday 13th of April, and I can tell you guys, because we've now officially told people, I am 13 weeks pregnant. So it's crazy. It's not sinking in. We've had some ups and downs, but yeah, I just wanted to quickly go through, very quickly overview, and then I will go into more detail in later videos about what's happened. So, but yeah, all good so far. So it started off with one of these that probably ended up as about 10 of these. So yeah, positive pregnancy test. As some of you will know, in our previous frozen transfer, we did only make it to 5.5 weeks. So the 7-week scan with the IVF clinic, it just seemed to drag from the 4 weeks, I think I must have been for this, 3 or 4 weeks, to the next scan. But we made it, and it was lovely because our embryologist that's been there telling me all about my medication the whole time, saw us through our last transfer before that, saw me through, I think, even my egg collection, which was over a year ago. And she was very happy to show us this. So there is baby with its yolk sac. It's amazing, isn't it? 7 weeks pregnant. The little 0 is the yolk sac with baby feeding off of it next to it. And then we got a little side profile, a little bean. Look at that, little baby. I've loved that picture. I've actually had that as my background on my phone for weeks. I'm not going to go into it too much because I could be on here for like 15 minutes. But basically, at 8 weeks pregnant, I did have surgery for an abscess which grew overnight, literally. And it was the size of a tennis ball at the lower bottom of my back and at the top of my bottom. I said it was large. It was a quick decision by our A&E department that they were rushing me in for emergency surgery the following morning. I had the surgery to remove the abscess. They didn't use general anaesthetic due to being pregnant. So I had what people go in for cesareans. So I was numbed from the waist down. And yeah, had the abscess cut out. And I am now, as I said, 13 weeks. And I'm actually only being discharged today. So it's a long recovery. It's been a very painful process and also very worrying because of the baby. So fortunately I had the surgery at about 8 weeks. The following week after surgery, they did call me back in after a lot of moaning and whinging on mine and Jake's part. And they did agree to do an ultrasound, which here in the UK, they don't like doing ultrasounds. I'm sure because on the NHS it's expensive. So I really had to say, you know, this is an IVF pregnancy. You've brought me in for surgery. And everyone's checking me and packing my wound and making sure I'm recovering okay. If I've got enough paracetamol on tap, stuff like that. But no one's dared to even check my baby. Even though on the day of the surgery, I had a number of anaesthetists and a number of midwives around me. So fortunately, we did get the ultrasound. Jake couldn't make it that day, but my sister filmed the most wonderful video and we did get this little picture. As you can see, not very clear. So below where my finger is, so if you look up, that is actually baby's head, and the other side, so like this side, is baby's legs. And baby was moving about, and they were really happy. They said, look, you know, if the anaesthetic had affected the baby wouldn't have been moving around in the sac. So we were all good, and they were quite happy for me to continue to have my midwife appointment and to just go ahead and have my 12-week checkup. So we've had the midwife appointments. So the midwife appointments here are very long. They're about an hour and a half. Run through my medical history, my family's medical history, Jake's medical history and his family's. really, really thorough, almost to the point we had to sort of say, did his sister have problems during birth and things like that. So, and to discuss like what my sisters were like when they were babies. So it was very, very in depth. Lots of bloods. And we got given our pack with all our appointments. And we do have about an appointment once a month, actually. So this week we've had the 12-week scan. I was 12 weeks, 6 days when they did the scan. And baby was perfect. Baby was stubborn. Baby wouldn't get into the positions that they wanted for the measurements. So they wanted baby to be laying down so they can measure the back of the neck and the skull and check the heart. And it's amazing how detailed this ultrasound was. It was checking my blood flow to the baby's blood flow, and checking that all the blood was running through the umbilical cord and that the heart was pumping correct. It was just amazing. They checked the fluid on the back of the neck. But yeah, it took a lot of me jumping around. I had to have a few internal scans. I had to keep changing and said, no, it's not working. We'll do another internal. Oh, no, that's not working. Do you mind, Frankie, if we get you to do an external? So I was basically laying there with nothing on from the waist down because they couldn't make their mind up what they were doing. I also got sent away to have a fizzy drink and a bar of chocolate at 10 o'clock in the morning. And got told to come back. And the thing is, each time the baby had just got in the right position, and as they began to take all the measurements to record for its record, the baby would jump and fling itself about and go back into its sitting position, which apparently is his favourite position. So Jake thinks it's quite stubborn like mummy. And I said it actually is very... All the time I've been pregnant, I've been thinking, do you know what? I think it could be a boy. And Jake said girl from the start. And watching the ultrasound, I thought, baby's a lot more like me than Jake. A lot more stubborn. So maybe it is a girl. We don't know. We don't know. So the only thing that we had, so we did that. Ultrasound was fantastic. I did opt to have the Downs and chromosome test. So they test for Down syndrome and also for Trisomy. I think that's how you say it. If I've said that wrong, I apologise. Trisomy 13 and 18. Now I think Trisomy 18 is Edwards syndrome, and I can't remember what the other one was. But we tested for that, and baby came back with results of saying the chances of having a Downs child would be 1 in about just under 4,000. So we've got quite a low risk of that happening. But what did flag up was that for the other 2 chromosomes, we had a risk of 1 out of 146, which really stressed me out. And it almost tainted what was a lovely day, seeing the baby bouncing around from the screen. So, but our doctor was so reassuring. She called us into a room and she said, look, I know this sounds horrific, but firstly, I'm not that concerned at this stage because everything appeared normal in the ultrasound. Baby doesn't have much fluid behind its neck. Its head's the right shape. It's the right size. The body's the right size. The arms and legs are the right size. Baby is moving freely. If anything, it was aware of what was going on. Every time they prodded me to shake me around to get baby to move, baby was moving. So she said, you know, if your child had one of these chromosome problems, sadly, I don't think the baby would appear how it appears, which is whatever normal is. But statistically, the baby appeared to have reached every benchmark that they were looking for, which she said if they had chromosomes, I think the baby's face may be particularly squashed, and I think the arms and legs could be very stumped in growth. And she said that's not the case with your child. She said, and you know, I see people come in with a lot worse statistics and have a healthy child, so I'm not worried at this stage. What they did do, because King's are they're a teaching hospital, they're one of our top London hospitals. They did offer us a harmony test, on the NHS because our risk was lower than 1 in 500. And she sent that off, and that goes off to the US, and we don't have the capability of doing it here in the UK. And the results could take anything from a week to 2 weeks. We haven't had our results yet. I did ask if the results come back negative, which they do think will happen. So please, everyone, touch wood, keep your fingers crossed. But it could mean that I'm low on a hormone called PAPA. And that would mean that this hormone isn't being fed into the placenta as well as it should be. Now, this doesn't, they can't ever say you're not going to lose the baby, because that's impossible to guess with any pregnancy. But she said, obviously, we are 13 weeks now, and what they would anticipate to do is, it's not going to be that the baby will just stop growing overnight. It's a case that baby perhaps might not make it to 40 weeks. So baby may be born early. Baby will more than certainly, if this is the case that there is no chromosome problem, baby will be born with a slightly lower weight. I've obviously been doing my research, and there's not too much about it out there. I have heard a lot of people say about the NHS tests, have said that they had these low statistics, and yet when they did the Harmony test, it's come back perfectly normal. So I'm just hoping we're in that category, really. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. But yeah, I'm positive. We have announced to all our friends and family that baby is on its way, and we've had amazing support, and everybody's excited and looking forward to the next 6 months and to see what October brings. So but I'm going to drop a couple of pictures at the end of this video now to just show you the ultrasound, because we haven't got them printed off to hand. So you'll see that baby's grown even much more since the last 2 ultrasounds we've had. And yeah, hopefully we will actually probably get to see baby a lot more, because we are going to be monitored a lot more now following these blood results, whatever the outcome is. So but yeah, fingers crossed baby will be healthy. And yeah, please leave any supportive messages below. Please like this video, please subscribe. And I hope this video goes out to you guys that are going through IVF, and hopefully our good news will give someone hope, because I know that when we were doing our journey, these sort of videos were the ones that we were looking for. So yeah, any questions as well, drop it down in the boxes below, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, and thank you again for our support. Take care. Bye.